Ah, suffering, my old companion. It's the very thing everyone tries to flee from, isn't it? People run, they hide, they bury it deep, as though it's some kind of plague, as if it's a cruel sentence designed to break them. But oh, how they misunderstand. Suffering doesn't come to destroy you. It comes to mold you. Let me share a little secret with you. Every ounce of strength you possess, every flicker of resilience you've ever felt, every glimmer of wisdom that has illuminated your way, it all stems from one place: suffering. Without it, you'd be brittle, hollow, incomplete. You'd be nothing more than a facade, a mannequin draped in the illusion of who you believe yourself to be. But oh, suffering doesn't allow such pretenses, does it? It doesn't care for your masks, your comforts, or the lies you've so carefully crafted. Number suffering storms in like a wrecking ball, smashing through your delusions, dismantling everything you thought you understood about yourself. And there you stand, broken, shattered, asking, why me? But suffering quietly asks back, why not you? You see, it doesn't choose you to punish you. No, it chooses you because it knows you're capable of more. It sees the strength within you, the strength you've ignored or never even realized existed, and it knows the only way to unearth that strength is to break you open. Oh, but breaking hurts, doesn't it? It's messy, it's merciless, it feels like the end of everything. But that's the paradox of suffering. It feels like an ending, yet it's a beginning. The beginning of a truer version of you, a stronger you. But oh, I know, you don't want to hear that. You want to be told it'll all be okay, that the pain will vanish, that the struggle will cease, that life will return to normal. Ha! Let me tell you something. Normal is a lie, a comfortable story you tell yourself to avoid facing reality. And here's the reality. Life is suffering. But not in some bleak, hopeless sense. Life's suffering is transformative. Every great tale, every great triumph, every great soul has been forged in suffering's fire. Think about it. The heroes you admire, the leaders you revere, the change makers of the world, they all have one thing in common. They suffered. They were knocked down, broken, defeated. They faced loss, failure, rejection. Yet instead of running from the pain, instead of letting it define them, they embraced it. They let it fuel them, shape them, strengthen them. They understood that suffering wasn't their enemy, it was their greatest ally. But most people don't grasp that, do they? They let suffering crush them, leaving them bitter, resentful, hopeless. They drag it around like a weight, sinking deeper and deeper into despair. Here's the truth about suffering. It's not the weight itself that breaks you. It's how you carry it. You can let it drag you down, or you can let it lift you. You can let it make you bitter, or you can let it make you better. The choice is, and has always been, yours. Oh, but it's not an easy choice, is it? Facing the pain, letting it mold you, takes courage. It takes strength. And here's the irony. You already have that strength. You just don't realize it yet. Suffering reveals parts of you that you never knew existed. It shows you your limits, and then pushes you beyond them. It strips away everything unnecessary until all that's left is you. The raw, unfiltered you. And oh, isn't that terrifying, to see yourself without masks or distractions? But isn't it also liberating? Because that's when you discover you're stronger than you ever believed, braver, more capable. Suffering doesn't rob you, it enriches you. It gives you perspective, depth, and wisdom. Wisdom earned, not taught. Because once you've faced the worst, clawed your way back up from the depths, nothing can scare you anymore. But oh, most people can't see that. They see suffering as a curse, not a gift. They numb it, escape it, avoid it at all costs, missing the point entirely. Because pain doesn't disappear. You can ignore it, bury it, run from it, but it waits. It lingers, louder and heavier, demanding to be faced. And when you finally confront it, let it wash over you. That's when the transformation begins. You realize the pain wasn't there to harm you. It was there to heal you. Pain is a teacher, a harsh but honest one. It shows you where you're clinging too tightly, where you need to let go, where you're out of sync with your true self. And when you learn from it, when you let it do its work, that's when growth begins. But growth, growth isn't comfortable, is it? It's painful. It demands you shed your old self, beliefs, and ways of being. And that's not easy. No, it's one of the hardest things you'll ever do. But it's worth it. Because beyond that pain lies freedom. Freedom from fear, doubt, and limitation. Freedom to become who you were always meant to be. Here's the catch. Suffering doesn't stop. It's a cycle, a spiral. Each new level of growth brings fresh challenges, fresh pain. And isn't that wonderful? It means you're alive, still growing, still evolving. So, what will you do? Keep running, avoiding, pretending, or embrace it? Let suffering teach you, shape you, transform you. Because suffering isn't your enemy. It's your ally, your guide, your strength. Once you understand that, once you stop fearing the fire, you'll see you weren't being burned. You were being forged into something unbreakable. But here's the thing. Most people never let themselves be forged. They resist, they fight, they cling to their comfort zones as if that will save them. But comfort zones don't save you. They trap you. They lull you into believing that safety is the goal when, in reality, growth requires risk, discomfort, and yes, suffering. Because life isn't meant to be safe, is it? It's meant to challenge you, stretch you, push you to your limits and beyond. And suffering, it's the tool life uses to do just that. So the question is, will you let it? Will you stop running, stop resisting, stop numbing yourself? Will you face it head on with open eyes and an open heart? Because here's the truth. The fire doesn't destroy you. It burns away the lies, the fears, the illusions. And what's left is real. What's left is you. You, stronger than the pain, wiser than the struggle, braver than the fear. You, forged in the fire, unbreakable. But how few people ever reach that point. How many waste their lives avoiding the very thing that could set them free. They fear the suffering when they should embrace it. They see it as their enemy when it's been their greatest teacher all along. So the next time suffering comes to you, knocking at your door, what will you do? Will you slam the door shut, or will you invite it in? Because if you let it, suffering will transform you. It will teach you the lessons you've been too afraid to learn, show you the truths you've been too blind to see. It will push you, test you, challenge you, but it will also grow you. And isn't that what life is about? Growth, evolution, becoming who you're truly meant to be. So don't fear the fire. Don't resist the pain. Don't run from the suffering. Instead, walk into it. Let it burn away everything that isn't you. Because on the other side of that fire is freedom. On the other side of that suffering is strength. And on the other side of that pain is the version of you you've always been destined to become. You, unstoppable. You, unshakable. You, unbreakable. So don't fear the suffering. Embrace it. Because suffering, my friend, isn't here to destroy you. It's here to make you.